The fireman's helmet. The number of people in extreme poverty has fallen dramatically over the past 20 years, and could mostly disappear in the next 20. In 1990, almost 2 billion people lived on less than $1 a day. The vertical line represents the international poverty line, now defined at $1.25. The curve shows the number of people who live on $1 a day, and $2 and $3 and so on. It looks like a helmet, with the peak on the left representing many people on very low living standards, and a long tail of wealthier people on the right. As countries get richer, the helmet moves rightward, reflecting growth in household consumption. The faster the rate, the farther the line moves. The strong annual growth in consumption after 2000 pushed the line so that by 2010, about 1 billion people lived in extreme poverty. But the shape of the line matters. In 1990 and 2000, the peak was slightly to the left of the poverty line. As the shape moved right, it took a section of the peak to the other side of the poverty mark. This represents the surge of people who escaped poverty from 1990 to 2010, from 43% of people in poor countries to just 21%. In future, as the line is pulled to the right, the peak flattens. If developing countries maintain their economic performance, the number of people in poverty would fall from about 1 billion today to just 200 million by 2030. However, the geography of poverty will change. China already has more citizens above the poverty line than below it. By 2020, there will barely be any Chinese left in extreme poverty. In India over the next decade, growth will push many across the $1.25 barrier. But prosperity will benefit comfortable Indians more than poor ones. In sub-Saharan Africa, many will remain in poverty. The average consumption of the poor is about 70 cents a day. At current growth rates, even 20 more years of development will not move many millions out of poverty. Overall, the achievement is remarkable. It took 20 years to reduce the extreme poor from almost 2 billion in 1990 to a bit over 1 billion in 2010. The current projection by the Brookings Institute would lift 1 billion people out of poverty in just 17 years. But even this does not get to zero poverty. 200 million poor people implies a poverty rate of around 3%. To get to zero would require something even more.